a short profile of my guest seated here. Name, like I said, her name is Adebisi. She is a speaker, an author, and a teacher in financial literacy and retirement planning for individuals and corporate organizations. She holds a first and second degree in economics, a chartered accountant, as well as a certified family life coach. She coaches couples as well as individuals, personally and as a group. She has authored 4 books. Now, the first one is Family Finance Secrets. Second is Journey to Motherhood. Fourth is How to Know Your Money Personally. And the fourth one is Tale of 4 Kings. She can be reached on all our social media platforms. But well, it's good to have you.
Thank you,
on the show.
Blossom.
Thank you so much for joining in.
Welcome.
You see this Tale of 4 Kings?
Yeah.
Is it a biblical book?
No, it's about reality.
Reality?
4 different kinds of husbands.
Wow. One day we need to review that book here. We need to the book, the title just, encapsulated me. Let me use that word.
Yeah.
So let's go over to what we're talking about today. I know a lot of people are waiting to know what we're talking about. We're not sharing the success story today. We're talking about something very important, and that is financial decision making and mindset, which is very important as a human being. Now, we'll be looking at different aspects. We'll be looking at how our emotions affect our money choices. We'll also be looking at delayed gratification and discipline. Then we'll be looking at the peer pressure angle and the lifestyle spending. Lastly, we have to build good financial habits.
Yeah.
So let's start first with emotions affecting our money choices and money spending. I truthfully, a lot of people sometimes when they feel overwhelmed, they feel like they need to spend more. Sometimes it's still valid. You feel overwhelmed with work, you're stressed, you did not plan to. You probably now start thinking of maybe buying a house, while some will be thinking of I need to just go to a spa. Some will feel like I need to buy all the groceries in the supermarket and just go home and just keep bulk eating. Different ways. So how would you advise someone to control their emotions when it comes to money making and spending?
Well, when it comes to making money, I would say use your emotion to your advantage. Play to the emotion of your buyer and get them to connect to whatever it is that you're selling emotionally. That way they would be connected enough to release their money to you. But when it comes to spending, also use your emotion wisely. You deserve the best. You deserve to be happy. You deserve the best of the best. So it's okay to want to say, I feel connected. I love to put on, I love bags. I want to buy bags. It's fine. But you have to mix it with rationalization and ask yourself, based on what I have currently, can I afford it? Based on where I'm going to, the kind of goals that I have, can I afford to go all out for these, or can I wait for a while? So just like you have a child that's telling you, Mommy, I'm hungry, I need my food now. All the child knows is I need it now. So if you allow your emotion to overrule everything that you want, then that means you might not be able to apply rationalization and pay attention to what will benefit you in the future. So you can use advantage to your emotions to your advantage, and it can also work against you. If you have a goal, for instance, that in the next 5 years I want to get to a particular state, I want to have achieved all of these things. If you can connect with that goal emotionally, then you can be driven to achieve it. So that's an advantage of emotions. But if you're not connected to that goal, it's not going to happen. So as women especially, our emotions can be used to our advantage. You can use your emotion and tell yourself, I deserve the best. I want to spoil myself. I want to do this. I want to do that. It's fine. But just know when to draw the line between going all out for everything you want just because you want to prove a point to people that don't really care. Right? So knowing where you're going, knowing what is important to you, and having that values that guides every decision that you make for time. So that way your emotions is powering it positively, both your current decisions as well as your future decisions.
That's amazing. So I like the fact about you see a lot of people, where you said a lot of people tend to want to do some things based on other people, like they are trying to validate who they are because they need to spend that amount of money. Now let's talk to people who feel that they need the validation of people when it comes to money spending. Okay, you want to go out, you have an outing with your friends, let's say your alma mater, and of course there's a contribution. You're still struggling though, and there's a contribution of maybe about 150, and you know definitely like that's your salary, but they ask you to contribute. And of course, at that point, you do not know what to do, but you feel like you need to be there because you have to be there, because you never know who you could connect to back and could connect you to something that you needed. Now, at this point, there are some persons that will look at it like, okay, I need validation, because probably they've been living above their pay grade. I want this validation and I'm going to get the validation. And of course, they decide to maybe pay the amount or buy whatever should be they need to buy. Now, for someone who has already gotten to this space of, I always need to validate myself. I cannot just begin to start managing. I need to be there. You know, they always say, fake it till you make it. So I need to be there. Now, for those who feel I need to be there, either painstaking or, you know, I don't know, but I need to be there. What would you advise them to do right now so that they'll be able to soft pedal just a little bit and be able to see beyond making sure that people validate them to know who they really are or what their value is?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for that interesting question. First of all, nobody can lie to you. If you're lying to others, you know yourself, you know your thoughts, you know what you want, you know what you're worth. And because you know what you're worth, it's important that you don't allow other people dictate to you what it is that you deserve. Even if other people are going to say it, it has to be a confirmation of what it is that you already know. So in that instance, it's good to tell yourself the truth and come out and say, I'm sorry, I can't afford this right now. But if you guys want to help me, it's fine. So there's nothing wrong with your friends helping you, you know, lifting your hands. If they are really your friend, they will. So it's also a good way to test your friendship and to ask yourself, are they really interested in my wealth, or they're just there to pull me out of where I don't want to get to? You know, and there's also a positive aspect of validation. When you have very good friends, they're doing way better than you, in quote, like they're already where you are aspiring to get to, and they're saying, come, we're not going to leave you behind. We are bringing 100, you bring 50. We know you can't afford the 50, but come with this. You know, that's still girl power. You can raise other people around you up without laughing at them and making them want to go outside of what they really are. So in that instance, external validation is good, because ordinarily you know that you can't afford this, but because you have good friends around you that really understand that it's important that you come forward, they are saying, don't worry, we'll help you. How much more do you need? Then we'll add that to it. The most important is that all of us are coming and all of us are working together. So if it's high time you begin to test your circle of friends. Are they those people that you can really come out to and say, this is how I am? Or you can't come out to tell them how you are because you feel they're going to laugh at you. So it's better they laugh at you and you know who your true friends are, and begin to set the right boundaries so that you can be in a place where you are real to yourself, than to continue to stay in that environment where you continue to live life in such a way that you're not yourself and you gradually lose grip of the real you or the future that you deserve.
Yes, truly. I think aside from even losing the real you, is you know, when you lose the real you, the future that you deserve, the future that you should have been there, it becomes not present. You don't even attain that future because you are not even you. So you're living somebody else's life. So you're where another person would have wanted to be. Well, let's talk a little bit about delayed gratification and discipline. Now, what would you say about that when it comes to our finance, the ability to spend wisely?
Okay, so the way I feel, one very simple way I talk about delayed gratification is if you understand where you are going, that the fuel you have now is not just for now. but it's also for where it is that you're going. You won't pour all the fuel into your vehicle at once. Even if you do that, you won't be going in circles. When you should be going forward so that you can get closer to where it is that you're going. So going in circles means you're just eating everything just for short-term needs without any consideration for your long-term needs. So delayed gratification is you saying, see, I know my salary is, for instance, 1 million naira. If I spend everything I have today, that means I would have to borrow transport fare tomorrow. That means I would not have money in savings. That means that I would not be able to do other aspects. For instance, it's not just about eating, but what about buying clothes? What about paying house rent? What about paying electricity bills? So delayed gratification is you being responsible enough that there are other aspects of your current needs that you need to meet, as well as your future needs. So and you are responsible enough to acknowledge it and to make provisions for it. So it's not just saying, they said we should save, and I'm just keeping the money. No, it's also good to have a reservoir, but at least meet your current needs and be intentional about your future needs too.
Oh yes, I totally agree. You know what? I think this is speaking to a lot of people in the right direction, because a lot of times we have to talk about this, and and the major thing we look at is focusing on what is important, because trust me, it's not about carrying the Gucci bag, it's not about eating maybe there's a new pizza company and you're like, oh, let's go test that. It's not about that. It's about other things. And you also mentioned something very important. You said people who save. It's not, we are saving, let's contribute, and you're just saving. There has to be a purpose for saving, because even after saving, when that money comes out, you might not be able to direct it to the right source because you do not have the plans for saving. So I should be a financial expert like this.
Yes.
Let's go over to the next point we're picking up from, and that's peer pressure and lifestyle spending. Obviously, you know about what peer pressure can do. Just because you want to fit in, you keep spending. Then also lifestyle. The kind of lifestyle makes us you see somebody who is earning 200K, has a lot of investment, has a lot of beautiful things to look back to, and like, okay, my money was worth it. And you see people who are earning even 500, above 500, they probably do not even have a generator to their name. Do you understand? So how can you be able to you can avoid the peer pressure actually, but how can you be able to scale through that peer pressuring, right? And also at the same time, still be able to save, still be able to have your money. Basically, do not bow into peer pressure. How is it possible for us to do that and still manage the lifestyle that we live?
I would say this, as a coach, I tell my clients to, first of all, do an examination of your expenses over a period of time. Take a look at them objectively and tell yourself, is this something that I should continue to do, or should I do less of it? That way you know if you're buying to peer pressure or not, because if you're living within your means, then certain things need to be replaced, or to be completely cut off. It's not the fault of your friends. You have to take this responsibility for your life, knowing that this is who I am, this is what I want, and this is where I'm going to. I'm happy we're having this conversation at this time of the year, because very soon we will be writing their goals, New Year resolution, after they finish spending all the money,
for dirty December.
For dirty December. Then in January, they'll tell you, I have this goal to double my income, I want to be able to have 2 houses. I believe in these. But where is the foundation that is going to help support that? So it's very important that you don't just make the wish, that you're objective about it, and knowing that this is where you are, these are the things that you can do with what you have. You can say, okay, I'm living within my means, or I'm living outside of my means. If you're not telling yourself that truth, those friends will still continue, those circles will still continue. To keep placing those demands on you. You are the one that would say, yes, continue, or you would say, no, it's high time I told myself the truth.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about good financial habits, because at this point, you mentioning this, it shows that no matter the pressure around you, you can actually do it. It's just for you to stay focused have a better mindset. You understand? And
Absolutely.
And that works. Now, so for achieving financial goals, how can one achieve this with all this that we've mentioned? If you notice, we mentioned most of the flaws that we have when it comes to finance.
Yeah.
The first one was emotion. Sometimes our emotions take over our spending,
True.
right?
True.
And also delayed gratification, which we talked about, and the fact whereby we're not disciplined enough to know what we do not need. Then now we just went, then we also talked about the lifestyle too. The lifestyle sometimes can, push you towards it, then the peer pressure.
Yeah.
So it's like we're looking at the problems that can make one not have a financial goal or not be stable.
Yeah.
So the last one is, how can we now develop good habits? Now we've known all the pointers that can make us suffocate our financial selves. So, but how can we develop a good habit? Let's assume we've had a terrible kind of habits when it comes to our finances. And now listening to this, I'm like, okay, I think I need to really stop this. I think I need to do away with this. So what are the ways or what are the things that we can do to cultivate a very good financial habits that would help us be able to manage our finances better?
Thank you very much for that question. The very first thing to do is to embrace budgeting. Some people don't like it at all. Like, how will I be writing down things, doing this, doing that? No, it doesn't even start from recording your expenses. It begins with you saying, this is how much I earn. I want to be able to spend within what I earn. And once you have a plan, that's your budget.
Yeah.
Then your being accountable is you recording your expenses to confirm whether you are spending within
your salary,
what you have planned earlier on or not. So some people have this illusion that budgeting is for broke people that don't have money. I mean, how can you tell an $10 to budget?
To start budgeting.
By the time you get close to them, you know that their PA has a tab on everything they spend, and a lot of times, if the PA says, "Oh God, we can't go beyond this limit," they'll say, "Okay, sorry, next time."
Yeah.
So for you that you are still beginning now, for you to start practicing what the land does, you're saying no. You want to spend everything. So it's okay to say, I'm going to postpone this particular expense to next month or next time because I've exceeded my limit. That's the power of budgets. Knowing the limit that you're placing so that you can choose to do it some other time rather than to continue to do it blindly because you thought you have enough but you didn't have enough. So that's the advantage of budgeting. Very important. Secondly is to save. Ensure that you're saving. You're not eating with your 10 fingers, because when you eat with your 10 fingers, there's a problem. There's nothing available for tomorrow. And then thirdly, I would say have values. Upgrade your mindset. Have values that will help you to make those decisions in a subconscious manner. If you don't have strong values, that's according to one of my mentors, is making a decision 10,000 decisions upfront. Right? Wow. Even if somebody tells you, what are you going to do if this happens? You already know. Why? Because you have that value. It's going to help you in your choices. It's going to help you to address those leakages, and you'll be intentionally grow your income because you know where you're going and you know where you're
coming from.
Yeah.
I love this advice you just gave. You gave very good 3 pointers.
Yeah.
And those pointers, trust me, I take home. Well, anyways, we'll be wrapping the show pretty soon, but I want us to first go on the last tip for the day. So when we come back, we'll definitely get to hear her social media handles so we can follow her, ask her more questions. If you want to make millions, she said she was going to drop a check for me, and she's asking me how much do I want to the check. So yes. So you need to chat her up, and she'll be releasing her social media handle shortly, just right after this break. And the last tip for the day, stay with us.
6 tips for time management. Time management is something that most people want to improve on, especially at work. With cell phones, social media, and frequent email distracting us, being successful at time management is progressively hard to achieve. However, utilizing these 6 tips that end, you are on your way to fewer distractions and more productivity at work. Set reminders for all your tasks. The key to time management success is to know your deadlines and set reminders. We suggest setting a reminder 15 minutes before a meeting or event so you can prepare and gather your things. Create a daily planner. Make a list of tasks you need to accomplish that day and note in upcoming meetings or deadlines as you become aware of them. As you complete your list, make sure to tick off the tasks you've completed, while activities that are both urgent and important must be done, such as spending less time on activities that are not important to gain time for activities that are not urgent but important. 3. Give each task a time limit. On your daily list of things to do, pen in how much time you think each task will take you. If you don't finish, stop when the time you allotted ends and come back to it later. Sometimes moving on to different responsibilities and then coming back gives your mind a fresh start and a new perspective. Block out distractions. First and foremost, turn off your email notifications. Set 30-minute blocks to check your email every couple hours instead of checking it every 15 minutes. Make sure you minimize non-work distraction such as your cell phones, social media, or your favorite online store. Establish routine. While at work, create a routine that makes the most sense for your position. Why is this important? For starters, if a chaotic day comes along, you will still work through the issue while adhering to your routine. By sticking to your routine, you won't be able to procrastinate. Most importantly, your mental health and stress level will thank you. Get organized and delegate. Get help from others. Delegating means assigning responsibilities for a task to someone else. Freeing up your time for tasks that requires your expertise. Identify tasks others can do and select the appropriate persons to do them. Select someone with the appropriate skills, experience, interest, and authority needed to accomplish the task. Be specific. Define the task and your expectations while allowing the person some freedom to personalize the task.
All right, welcome back. Well, as a wrap up this section, I would like you to release your social media handles so they could follow you, ask you questions, and of course, maybe you could consult for them, obviously. So please go ahead.
Okay, my social media handle is BC Atewologun, both on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, as well as on TikTok. That's
Atewologun.
Yeah,
I just got the pronunciation right now. But thank you very much for sharing beautiful ideas on our finance and telling us that emotion is most times not needed, and that lifestyle, we want all the baby girl lifestyle, is most times too not also needed. We need to be disciplined, and of course we need to have a better heart for finance, which is gratitude. You have to be very you have to appreciate the little you have, so that when more comes, you'll be able to you will see road clear. Let me put it that way. Well, anyways, it's been so much fun telling us so much about finance, and especially this economy that we have. We really need to be hearing stuff like this, so that to keep telling us that even if it's getting bad, you're earning, you still have somewhere you can get to with your earnings. You just have to cut down on a lot of unnecessary stuff. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the show today.
Yes, I did.
Thank you so very much for coming. And of course, we'll still call you back again to talk more about finance. And this time around, before the finance, we'll talk about your book.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Tales of Four Kings. See, I'm good. I already know the name of the book. I'm good. Well, anyways, it's been so much fun with you all. Thank you so much for watching Women's Corner. Up next is The Buzz. What we'll talk about was buzzing and trending on social media. Until then, I'll see you in a few minutes. My name is Blossom. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.